Hello everyone, greetings from PayTap's technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTaps through our PT2 API endpoints. Throughout the series, we will walk you through the second integration type, which is the invoices. And for the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the frameworks used to integrate with PayTaps. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn how we can send our invoices to our customers via SMS in our Invoices API's integration type. So, let's get started. The first thing you should know is that you can find the full documentation for this part inside PayTap's support portal under the article called the Invoices API's Integration Manual. From the integration manual, if we navigate it to step 3 over here, you will see that in part 2, initiate the payment, we have two ways that we can send the invoices in our APIs. The first way is via the SMS and the second way is via email, and here we are going to learn the SMS way. So, as you can see, we have a full dedicated solution article that will guide you through how you can send your invoices via SMS and APIs. Actually, we have two ways to do that. We have a way that we can actually verify it or send it while creating the invoice from the initial request, and another way is via the SMS endpoint totally after you initiate the invoice request. So, let's test these two ways out. If we tested out the first way, which is the while creating the invoice way, we will see that we have here an object called notification that we can add to our invoice object, and this object will contain a parameter called phone numbers. Actually, it's a list of phone numbers that you can provide, and the invoice will be sent to these phone numbers. So what I'm going to do over here inside my code, that I have created this list or this object in the same way. As you can see, it's called notifications, and it's under my invoice object, and I have provided two numbers inside it. You can provide two numbers, one number. For this case, I'm going to try out two numbers. So now I will save it. And another thing that I'm going to do is normally what we are doing inside our invoices for this code, that we redirect the customers to the invoice link. Now, I don't want to do that for this part. I'm going to just debug the response like this so that I can see the response and what happens, and I don't need to redirect my customers to the invoice link. Now, let's get back over here to our checkout page or our invoice page. Let's test out the invoice like this. Choose PayTaps, proceed to payment. And as you can see, now, normally what we used to have is the invoice ID and the invoice link. The new thing that is created or that I have received inside my response payload to the new notification object that I add is the bulk SMS. And this, you can see that you have two responses over here that says you have requested to send the SMS and the invoice has been sent to this number and also to this number. And by doing that, your invoice link is now successfully sent to these two numbers, and you still have the invoice link inside your response over here. You can use that, and you still actually have the invoice ID over here. So now let's say that you have already initiated the payment, the customer was not or has not actually paid it yet, and you want to just send the invoice to this customer. So we are going to use this ID over here, and you can see that there is another way to initiate or to send the invoice via SMS, which is via the SMS endpoint. As you can see here inside our Postman collection, if you click here, you will have this endpoint that you can use it to send the invoice, and the endpoint will have a body of just a profile ID, customer details object, and inside it you will have the phone parameter. So now I'm going to open my Postman. As you can see here, I have the same details. Now I'm going to, let's try out this invoice ID. As you can see, I did not pay this invoice, so I'm going to use this ID. And, or actually, let's just use this as an example, the same ID, the same phone number. And once I click send, you will see that the invoice, this one, will be sent to the number you have provided. This is just another test case or another use case that you can use to send your invoices. Now we can move to the next video.